going on, you tool addicted maniacs? If you're in the market for a professional quality screwdriver set, right now is the time to go down to your local Lowe's and check out this 8-piece set from Toughbuilt Tools. This is model number TB-H5S8-A. Typical retail price on this right around $40. Currently on clearance for less than 22 bucks. Got to the register with it, it was $14.81 out the door. It's just a hell of a deal that you can't pass up. It's definitely worth trying these out, testing them in the trays, and then telling you what I think about them at that price point. If these things perform and they're as good as I think they're going to be, I'm gonna go back and get a second set. So let's go ahead and bust these out of the package and give them a look. All together here, you can clearly see that we've got 3 Phillips, 3 slotted, and 2 square. For the Phillips, we got a 3-inch number 1, 4-inch number 2, and 6-inch number 3. Now in the flat tip, we got a 1/4 inch by 4 inch, 5/16 by 6 inch, and 3/16 by 6 inch. Finally, we have our 4-inch squares number 1 and number 2. These Robertson square drivers is what sold it for me. Anyone working on residential, commercial, or industrial electrical will definitely utilize these drivers on a daily basis. And you're not going to find any decent set of drivers under $10 a piece. And getting this entire set for the price that I paid for it was just well worth it for these right here. Even if you decided to buy Klein, Tecton, CHANNELLOCK, or other brands, you're looking at $20 minimum for those 2 drivers alone. So that's what sold it for me, and I decided to get this set. Everything you're looking at here is made in China with strong, durable hex shaped shanks. In my personal opinion, I do think the hex style shank is a nice, strong design. Each shank is covered with a nice black chrome plated finish, so it's good and corrosion resistant. Each one of these drivers also feature that bolster right there at the base of the handle, as well as these nickel plated magnetic tips. The great thing about magnetic tips is anybody who is using these things in the field, you know as well as I do, there's certain situations you get into where you had to have a magnetic tip to make your job easier. It basically offers improved screw retention and durability. The bolster feature alone is going to give you the option of leverage, torque, and control in certain situations. All you got to do is take the tips of these, stick it inside the screw head, apply some good steady force to it, and then put a wrench on that bolster. Keep everything nice and lined up while you're applying torque. Like I said, the magnetic tips are just a plus, and these things appear to be good, strong magnets. I've been in many situations over the years where I've been trying to line up a screw, but it was in a nice tight confined space, and there was no easy way to do it, especially when you're working with electrical. So having a magnetic tip is definitely going to help you out. And I've seen some that's advertised as magnetic tips, and they wouldn't pick up anything. But these right here appear to have some good, strong magnetization. I gotta say, I do love the handle design on these, what they call a tri-panel grip with a lanyard feature. So any tradesman out there who's working on ladders, you're up high, you're working on a light fixture, something of that nature, being able to pop a lanyard on this thing and take it with you on that ladder is going to be very useful. I've been on ladders many times over the years, and the one thing I cannot stand is dropping my tools to the ground, because then you got to stop everything that you're doing, climb off that ladder, go pick your tool up, then return to what you was doing to begin with. All that's going to do is cost you time and money and a whole lot of frustration. Now the tri-panel design on these things is very nice. As you can see right there, it's got that triangular shape to them. Got these big long slices right there in the side of the comfort grip. And I gotta tell you, these feel really great in the hand, and I think they're going to provide some comfort as well as a lot of torque. The rubberized handle on it makes it an anti-slip design. If you're using screwdrivers on a daily basis, these are going to feel comfortable in the hand. They're ergonomic, and they provide some really good grip. Each one of these do have laser engraved, heat stamped, and printed indicators, making everything on these tools easily identifiable. If you've got these stuck down inside your tool bag, all you got to do is glance over and you'll easily see which one you're reaching for. Plus, if they ever fail, you'll easily be able to identify it and cash in on that lifetime warranty. If you want more information on that, links will be provided down below for toughbuilt.com. Go ahead and tell you, I've never had any experience with Toughbuilt tools, so the first thing I'm going to do is take these and test them in the trades. If you want to follow along, all you got to do is pop the clutch and that subscribe button, or check out these social media platforms. If these things perform the way I think they're going to perform, I'm probably going to go back and get a second set while they last. For me, that price point of $14.81 is absolutely great on a $40 set of screwdrivers. A lot of great options out there for you to have, and whenever it comes to screwdrivers, everybody's pretty particular. It depends on the quality of the steel, the comfort, the size of the handle, and all that sort of stuff in between. If you have these, I would like to hear from you. Just comment down below, let us know your thoughts and opinions based on your experience. As for me, I'm going to go ahead and test these out a little bit and give you my final thoughts and first impressions. Alright, now as far as my first impressions go, I've been able to use these things for a few days now. For me, the comfort grips are definitely different. I do like the feel of them in my hand. They do feel really good when I'm using them. It's like the design gives me some grip, and it allows my hands to breathe a little bit. Now, being that this is a hex shaped shank, if you needed to put a ratcheting wrench or something like that over the shank itself on some of these screwdrivers, it would work. Otherwise, you do got that bolster. The exact same thing applies to the bolster, especially if you're working with a stripped out screw. Anytime you're working with something like that, you want to be able to force the screwdriver down inside the screw head, apply good steady force, and then put a wrench on it and start turning it. If you could get it started, usually you can get the screw out, or you'll just break the screw head off entirely. Now, as far as the fitment on these, right there you go. I can stick this thing inside of a Phillips number 2, and I can let off of the screwdriver handle, and it will hang there. That's how good the fitment is on these. Anytime you come across some really cheap screwdrivers, anytime they're not made very well, you're not going to do this. And not only does it work with the Phillips number 2, but it also works with the flathead screwdrivers as well. That's what you call some good fitment. I know a lot of people's going to get hung up on made in China, but whenever it comes down to things made in China, it more or less matters on what the company is willing to pay for, the type of quality that you're going to get. Ideal used to make some made in the USA screwdrivers. Now some of their screwdrivers are made in China, and they are a professional quality brand. So if it's something like Ideal, then these are going to be some really good screwdrivers to have, especially at this price point. You want to see how these things hold up over an extended limited period of time. All you got to do is pop the clutch, subscribe, and follow all these platforms, because we will be testing these tools in the trades. That's my first impressions for this screwdriver set from Toughbuilt. Until next time, get to doing that blue collar hustle.